And for more on this story, we can speak to Oliver Cachin, a music journalist and one of the foremost authorities on hip-hop culture here in France. Hello to you, Olivier. As we just heard in that report, the organizers of RockenSeine said that they were assured that Kneecap would perform under certain conditions. Do we have any idea what those conditions might be?
Well, they're artists, so as far as I'm concerned, artists are allowed to do whatever they want as far as it respects the law. It's rather ironic to hear about the scandal with this group, Kneecap, which is a great band. They're funny, they're talented, they're also political, but as they say, political with a little p, because they are just expressing their thoughts and their opinions, and they should be allowed to express their music. And it's sad to hear that there was this, like the report said, 40,000 euros grant that was withdrawn for reasons that, that are, in my opinion, not very valid.
Yeah, politics with a little p, some might say a big P, but regardless, our fans have come to know them for being outspoken, for not being afraid to speak their opinions. So I think when you look at what happened in Glastonbury, ahead of that music festival, the British Prime Minister said it would be inappropriate for them to perform. In the aftermath, Kneecap has had concerts canceled in Austria and Germany, banned from entering Hungary. And these are the types of power dynamics that Kneecap so often opposes. So what do you think we'll see tonight?
Well, hopefully a great concert, like the previous two concerts that happened in France, in Les Eurocaines, which was another festival in France a couple of weeks ago, because it's a great band. And again, for those people who know him, who know this band through the movie that was made last year called also Kneecap, it's an incredible story. I mean, they rap in Gaelic most of the time, which is a language that nearly nobody understands except for the real Irish people. And still, they are making an international career. And their music is great. And their opinions, well, I mean, it's hard not to be in accord with most of what they say when they speak about stopping massacres and everything that's happening today in Gaza and elsewhere in the world.
Yeah, and what more can you tell us about Kneecap? I mean, these are working class boys, and rap, as you know, so often the nexus of politics and power and culture and a sort of subgenre, even if it's gone mainstream. So talk to us a little bit about Kneecap and their background.
Well, it's very funny because basically they're not musicians in the strict sense of the term, because they started as like lads doing music, and what we see in the movies that they took for a DJ, they are a previous music teacher, and their music, again, this Gaelic language is very funny because it reminds me of what American rappers used to say about French rap. I don't understand the lyrics, but the beat is dope. And that's what's happening with Kneecap, because they have following this, which should have been very small, because, I mean, come on, rapping in Gaelic, that doesn't seem to be the big thing to attract commercial success. And still, they speak to people throughout Ireland, England, and throughout the world. And of course, now we speak more about them because of their political views. But the main thing is that they are a great band that do great concerts, that have, like I said, they are funny, they are witted. And I mean, it's a great band, and this should be about music. But it's a good thing also that artists like them are not only saying, oh, we do music and we don't connect with the real world. They have their opinions. And I think lots of people share their opinion. And I'm sure that tonight's concert in RockenSeine will be great. I'm sad that I won't be here, but I hope they will come back again. And we should say thank you to the organizer of the RockenSeine, because like they said in a statement, if we start censorship now, then it will never end. Just to remind you, when they played in Les Eurocaines, which was this other French festival a couple of weeks ago, Kneecap played, but there was another French rapper called Fritz Corleone, which has the show that was banned by the prefecture in France. So artists have got to fight not only for their music, but for their right also to have their own opinions, which Kneecap has, obviously.
Right, and art is always political. We don't want art that is apolitical. But I'm just curious, music is universal, as you were alluding to earlier. But if we did have to draw a boundary, a line for where that stops and where a message begins to be perhaps inciting hatred or inciting violence, where do we draw that line? Is Kneecap well on the sides of the boundary, or are they pushing the envelope a bit?
Well, in my opinion, it's less important to have a Free Palestine slogan and flags being thrown on stage than what's actually happening in the real world with real people dying. I mean, we're speaking about what should be correct for a band like Kneecap to do live on stage. But what they are saying, apart from their song, because their songs are not necessarily about Gaza or the political situation there, but what they are saying when they have this Free Palestine slogan is what most of people think on the planet, that want just the wars to stop and civilians stop for being killed. So there's no boundaries to art. The only boundary is law. And as far as I'm concerned, they didn't break any law. They just expressed their feelings, their thoughts, their opinions.
Yeah, Kneecap even saying themselves are just being a distraction for something that's much bigger and much more important. Before we let you go, Olivier, just want to ask you, do you have a favorite Kneecap song?
No, because like most of the people, I don't understand the lyrics.
And we can't pronounce them.
The PDs do, and they're great.
All right, Olivier, thank you very much. Olivier Cachin speaking to us there.